was definitely traumatic. I had my first contraction, and about 30 minutes later I was in the hospital, and I was on a hospital bed being wheeled into the OR, and they were prepping me for an emergency C-section because baby was breech. We were not in any trouble or anything like that, but the hospital wasn't prepared, and it was just super chaotic and scary. I remember throwing out my birth plan, delayed cord clamping and skin on skin contact, and where's my husband, and just a really frightening experience. And then they opened the doors to the OR room, and I remember the anesthesiologist came in and and put me out. Just don't really remember much, obviously, after that. And when I woke, I was a little bit dazed and confused, and I remember seeing my husband with a big smile on his face and this little burrito in front of him, and I thought, wow, I just had a baby. It was not what I expected and what I had hoped for, and it really kind of played a big part into some of the postpartum depression that I had thereafter, and of course just building up the fears and anxieties for any future children that we anticipated on having, and a little PTSD. So I really wanted to make sure that for our second child that I would be better prepared, and with that I looked into hypnobirthing. So with my second birth, I wanted to do something different. With my first, it was pretty traumatic, and I had a lot of fears and anxieties and stressors and worry about, am I going to be able to, one, vaginally birth my baby? Is it going to be painful? Am I going to pass out? I mean, I had a lot of fears going into it, and so being a birth practitioner myself, I specialize in pregnancy pediatric chiropractic care. I hear many stories, the good, but I also hear anxiety-filled, scary stories from my moms, and again, that played a little bit into my own fears, and so hypnobirthing was an option. I asked my husband, hey, do you want to support me in this? So he agreed. Little did I know that it wasn't just all about me in hypnobirthing. It was really my partner and I, my husband and I, and how much benefit we'd get from it. I remember after our first class, he had said, wow, that's going to be a lot of vaginal birth videos I'm going to see, and I don't know if I'm really into it. And I said, hey, this is to support me and us and really help me gain some confidence with being able to birth and really aim for a VBAC. Each class that we took just built onto the next, and it was just amazing. And I could tell even in my husband's point of view, he just enjoyed it more and more and was really just, with every class, more and more supportive, which really helped me as well. Coming from the background that I come from, I knew a lot about birthing and pregnancy, but I really needed a lot of support and help with the mental and emotional aspect of it, and the hypnobirthing classes really helped with that. One major thing that I take from hypnobirthing was, I remember one of our instructors saying, with the contractions and the surges, they're gonna kind of ebb and flow, and so they're not gonna be 3 hours of just intense pain. You're going to have some maybe discomfort, and then you're gonna have some ease. And I remember thinking, especially when I was in the hospital with my second one, I remember when I was on all fours thinking, okay, this is intense and this is painful, but you're gonna have some ease. And with each cycle, I literally just mentally kept getting stronger and stronger because of that preparation that I had in hypnobirthing. Another great thing I took from hypnobirthing classes was our positioning. I would have never known and never practiced. We both wouldn't have practiced any of our positioning. I didn't know what position to be in, but I didn't know what was right for me. And I really enjoyed one of our classes where we actually got to mock the certain positions, and we really found out which ones really worked for us. My first, it was about 35 minutes from the time that my water broke, had that first contraction, to the time I got to the hospital and had the emergency C-section. So this whole time I've been told, with your second, it can come faster. And I thought, oh my God, 35 minutes, how's it gonna come any faster than 35 minutes? So it really, continued to play into that fear and that anxiousness and worriness of, can I do this? And especially, can I get a VBAC the second time around? I ended up starting to contract at home, and they were 10 minutes apart at first, and I was like, something's going on. And I think about 4 or 5 of those 10 minutes apart, they dropped to 5 minutes apart, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I think this baby is coming. We live probably about 35 minutes away from the hospital. Right away I knew that it was time for us to book it. My husband, I can't tell you, from taking the hypnobirthing classes, really felt that he was going to deliver our baby probably on the side of the road. He was very adamant that, you know, he's got this under control after these hypnobirthing classes, that he knows what he needs to do. He had a first aid kit, he had towels in the back of the car. He was really anticipating a birth on the side of the road. I was not hoping for that, and thank God it did not happen that way, but it was really great to have my partner just really confident in being able to handle the situation, whatever might end up happening. So we ended up getting to the hospital within that 35 minutes, and right away I had said, you know, please get us our doula. The midwife was there. They had checked me. I was about 8.5 centimeters already dilated. The minute she asked me if my water had broken, I had said no, and then within seconds it had broken, and we were ready to go. And it was probably about 50 minutes after that baby had come onto this earth. It was pretty intense. I remember literally thinking about the hypnobirthing class, and one of our instructors saying, you know, just again, it's going to ebb and flow. You get that surge, you get that contraction, it's going to be intense, but then you're going to have some release. I literally just kept having that being played in my head. I remember really listening to the midwife when she told me to do certain things or not do certain things. My husband was really, really helpful. And like I said, within 15-20 minutes after we arrived at the hospital, our little baby was born, VBAC, unmedicated, and just beautiful and amazing. And I really, really owe that whole experience to hypnobirthing and the support staff that we had, including my husband. I would have never been that confident and that self-assured and that just amazingly powerful mama that's able to birth her baby if it wasn't for the instruction and the support that we got through hypnobirthing. It was an amazing feeling. I can't tell you how even afterwards I dealt with my first, a lot of postpartum depression and PTSD, and I don't know if it was our mindset that we went in with this, our second one, and having that vaginal birth, but I feel amazing. I feel just awesome. I haven't really had any blues or anything like that. Me and my husband are on the same page, which is really great. He's been super supportive. Just a wonderful experience. So I would highly recommend CARE's Birth Education Center, the hypnobirthing classes. They're just amazing. And I think every woman should actually, and husband or partner, should go through these classes. They just really prepare you mentally, emotionally, and physically as well. One big advice I'd give new moms and dads or partners in general is taking hypnobirthing classes through the Birth Education Center. I think that was vital for our second birth. Our first one was traumatic. Our second one just went blissfully, and it was because of those 5 weeks, 6 weeks preparation that we had through those classes. Not only did we learn a lot, but I would never have gotten a lot of that information just reading a book. And if there's something about reading a book and then being in the moment, being around other couples, being with instructors who have a wealth of knowledge, who do this all day, every day. So I would say that the hypnobirthing classes are just vital. It's a great way to prep. I mean, I was on my second one, so I kind of thought I knew it all because of the first, and I didn't. And so I really gained just mental support, emotional support, physical support. It was amazing. My husband got so much out of it, which he's kind of one of those macho guys that thinks, you know, I don't need to see any of this kind of stuff or learn any of this kind of stuff. And he became so much more enlightened about what we go through as women and the whole birthing process, and really how to support me the way that I need to be supported versus how he thinks I should be supported, or what he may have learned maybe on TV or maybe other people's experiences. And so it was really great to do it with him. After our first class, it just literally got better and better and better, and I was so happy to have him there supporting me and even being amongst the other couples and watching them grow through our 5 weeks. It was just such an amazing experience. I would highly, highly recommend it for new moms or new couples, or ones that have already had 2 or 3 or 4 children. I think you'll just gain so much insight and so much knowledge in so many different areas through the hypnobirthing classes. So I highly recommend it. Not only do I recommend it for my patients as a chiropractor, pediatric and pregnancy chiropractor, it's a great way to prep along with the chiropractic care or your acupuncture or your massage, prenatal massages. It's just vital, and I would 100% recommend it.